to hear some noise tonight. You're just seconds away from Let's Go Blues Radio.
No doubt about it, eh? You're listening to Curt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio, the original St. Louis Blues hockey fan podcast. Take it away, boys.
Come on, St. Louis hockey fans, stand up and cheer. The Blues are back strong. This is our year. It's the Blues' turn now.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, it's the Blues' turn now. With that Al McKinnon slap shot, you know we can't lose. We are St. Louis, the home of the Blues. Come on, St. Louis. Let's go Blues. Come on, St. Louis. Come on, St. Louis.
Let's do that hockey.
Come on, St. Louis. All over the hockey universe, the note is the news. Everybody's digging on the St. Louis.
It's a frigid Tuesday, March 5th, 2019, across the river from St. Louis this evening, which Bill and I normally are, but the third wheel of our twosome.
What?
I don't know. That was an on-the-fly makeup bullshit thing.
You had so much time to prep for that.
Yeah, but I did not, and I chose not. Like the rest of my life, I procrastinated.
All right, why don't we start over?
I had 9 weeks to work on it, did nothing. Welcome to season 7, episode 38 of Let's Go Blues Radio. This is franchise episode number 171 all time. Your hosts, myself, Curt Price, co-pilots Bill Day and Jeff Ponder, are both in studio this evening. Yes, we're all in the same room. The band is back together.
This is exciting. This is what dreams are made of.
To interact with us or the show on social media, follow the show on Twitter at LGB Radio is the show's account. My account is at Curt Price. Bill's is at Billy Blue Note, and Jeff's is at JPonder94. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and the website is letsgoblues.com. Please check out the letsgoblues.com shop for shirts, mugs, and stickers. And if we have time later, we'll open up the show for listeners to join us on the air to talk some hockey. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
I'm warm. Jeff's here.
Always keeping my friends warm. That's what I do.
Oh, it's great to have you in studio. Yeah, but don't wear shoes next time.
Yeah, I learned something tonight. I learned that Bill comes over here and he doesn't wear shoes. He wears slippers. What do you do in the warmer months? Do you at least put shoes on then?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flop. Okay, that's fine. I'll allow that.
Yeah.
The slippers is a little weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, Kurt's got, hard tile upstairs and hardwood, and if I
the whole house is hard.
Right.
That's hard carpet, hard walls,
hard hose,
hard water. Troy's got a lot of hard water.
Yeah. Damn, it does. But no, it seemed like, especially when we do shows on Tuesday night, if I wore the shoes I wear to work over here, it makes a lot of noise on the floor, and I don't want to wake his kids.
Our riveting shoe talk.
That's what all the midnight visitors that Curt has. They all say that too. That's why they wear slippers
or socks.
It's
socks. Just wear socks.
Yeah, it's the unspoken rule in Kurt's house. If you come over after 9 o'clock, don't wear shoes.
No, don't wear shoes. Smart wools only.
Okay.
Well, very particular.
That's my bad. Next time I will come shoeless.
Smart wool socks.
Yeah.
Have you worn smart wool socks before?
Oh, they're the best.
They are amazing.
They are the best.
Yeah. They wick sweat and moisture away from your foot.
Can I maybe take some home with me as a souvenir from the show?
I need all 6 pair that I have.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Are you a Sam's Club member?
I am.
They have knockoff their Omni wool socks. Same thing. Pretty much. Yeah.
If Sam's would like to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio, you can email us at letsgoblues dot
no
NHL.
Shut up.
Dot Curt Price.
Stop talking. Jeff's new to computers. The official beers of episode 171. Bill.
As I tweeted out recently, I am going with the Mater Familias, a play on Pater Familias. Obviously, it's Mother's Brewing Imperial Stout aged in multiple alcohol barrels, bourbon, brandy, rum. What else we got? Rye. Yeah. So it's got an interesting flavor. I'm getting a lot of either brandy or rum in this. So
in the YouTube chat, Hawaii Blues fan has joined us and says, "Hey guys, hey guy." It's like me saying, "Hey Kurtz." He also says, "I can't wait. I can't wait. Do you guys start throwing shit at each other?
Like actual shit?
Are we monkeys in a cage?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is he?
Are we at the zoo? Oh, hey, that hit the microphone. That was loud and clear. You hit me. It was. I could hear that.
You hit me so hard it hurt, Kurt.
That was a blind shot. Like I was looking at Kurt when I threw it
off the foam, screen on the microphone.
You guys are a bunch of animals.
Hey, we're taking listener requests off the bat.
And Hawaii Blues fan, he posted his Twitter handle. We can't allow that guy in the YouTube chat. You owe us $1 for that.
His Twitter handle is at shitthrowerstl.
That's not true. Bob Rakowski says, tuned in for the hockey, stayed for the slippers and socks.
We want to keep you entertained.
Jeff, you had mentioned that you have brandy in that drink you have there. You should probably stop hitting the microphone.
I probably should, but
you should start talking into yours. You're looking that way. And you're
hello.
You should probably just hold the microphone.
Hello.
I have 50% less space than I
Is this better?
do.
That's much better.
Okay. That's how I'm going to do it the rest of the time.
So much sexier.
Hello. Let's Go Blues Radio, listeners.
All right. Show's over.
So no, we have you ever made eggnog with brandy before? Cherry brandy specifically.
I have not.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Next Christmas.
Yeah.
I can't tell that story because it involves where you work. So you know what? I'll tell this story off air.
Okay.
But I got a good story for you involving your job and cherry brandy.
All the listeners are like, son of a bitch.
Sorry, guys.
Sounds like a good story.
Yeah,
It's really not. Trust me.
It does sound very interesting.
Thank you for bringing in the Milky Way minis, Bill.
Oh,
That pairs nicely with my. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, your beer.
Oh, yeah. So I got one, like I said on Twitter. I'm not sure if you can buy this in St. Louis, but first time I'd ever seen it. Have you guys ever seen this one before from Boulevard?
No.
The KC Pilsner lager. Pils Lager, I guess, is actually what it's called. I don't know. It's good. It's pretty good. I went to the Boulevard Brewery over the weekend over in Kansas City and did myself a little tour. Enjoyed it. Very cool.
Did yourself a solid.
I didn't do myself a
It's
solid.
what the not the kids. It's what the mid-20s are saying nowadays.
yeah, they're probably
30s?
in their 30s by now.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and they're probably not saying it anymore.
I am way behind.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that. And I'm
They're
in my
that
30s.
guy that's trying to be cool in the office, but isn't.
Yeah, that would be Kurt. Yeah.
I don't have to try.
Ha!
Just comes natural.
Right. Yeah.
You guys take notes.
Okay. We will do that. But no, if you're ever on Kansas City, out Kansas City way, definitely you should check out the Boulevard Brewing brewery tap room. It's no, it was great. They had a lot of great samples, stuff I never had before, and very cool. It was about a half-hour tour, and got to see. They basically claimed that they brought craft beer to the Midwest. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Boulevard?
that's what they kind of claim in their
What year did they start?
Boulevard's
1989.
See, Schlafly was before that.
No,
No,
I
I
think
think-
Schlafly was 90.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, 91, 92.
Schlafly was first in St. Louis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they claim, and I have no reason not to believe them, I guess. But thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Boulevard makes some good shit.
I used to be a big fan of their unfiltered wheat that they.
Oh, that's good
I used to
stuff.
drink that a lot.
Yep.
That was the first wheat beer I ever had.
First pale ale I ever had was Boulevard.
That's salad for pale ales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mine is my beer is the Sam Adams cherry wheat.
Wheat.
Whip. Did you say whip?
Cool Whip.
Cool whip. I said whip. Say it again. Say whip. I said whip. Cool whip.
Stop acting weird.
Cool
There's
Whip.
not even an H in that one.
Stop acting weird. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues History Twitter account, March 5th, 1991. The St. Louis Blues trade Jeff Courtnall, Robert Dirk, Sergio Momesso, Cliff Ronning, for Dan Quinn and Garth Butcher. The Blues were declared the winner of this trade by the Hockey News. I didn't know that until the STL Blues History posted the.
I think we can all agree with that, right? I mean, they clearly won that trade.
At the time, I hated the trade. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people hated the trade at the time. I think people were kind of like intrigued by Butcher, and Quinn helped the power play, and Butcher was the tough guy that Brian Sutter had to have.
Yeah.
And this was Sutter's deal. That from everything I heard, Sutter wanted this trade. So
yeah, he wanted the toughness on the back end of Butcher, and for some reason, Dan Quinn we thought was going to be this prolific scorer. And
no, Dan Quinn sucked.
He was terrible. He played 14 games for the Blues?
Yeah, but he destroyed us in '86.
He was good before he came here. And the thing is, after this trade, the Blues went winless in the next 6.
Whew.
After that, they won the last 7 to end the season. And so, okay, we figured it out. 7 in a row in the playoffs, and then they were down 3-1 against Detroit. And that was the series they came back and won in 7. And then they lost to the Stars in the second round. So you really can't get any more roller coastery after that trade. Lose 6, win 7, get down 3-1 in the first round, then come back and win the first round in 7 games, and then lose in the second round. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And,
I mean,
it
it's
really set the table. I mean, obviously Pavel Bure was the star of the team, but the '94 Canucks go all the Cup Finals on the back of Cliff Ronning and Jeff Courtnall.
Yeah, that was a heck of a trade for them. I mean, I was talking to a Canucks fan about that, and tune in for the summer interviews or summer series when I have a Vancouver Canucks personality on. We will talk about that trade because they talk about that as being one of the greatest trades of all time. It's hilarious because it's the exact opposite for Blues fans.
And we gave players to Vancouver and they went to the finals. Gave players to Calgary, they won the cup. Granted, we got Hull in the deal, but still, giving them Ramage and Walmsley and
Gilmore was the separate trade, wasn't it? Or was
Gilmore was that was after.
Yeah, that was after.
Yeah. Or before. It was before Hull.
Yeah, I think it was before.
So what's
we're great at making other teams contenders.
Other teams love us.
And the Blues have made some good trades, just things didn't work out in the playoffs. But I want to ask you guys since you said that that trade was the best trade in Vancouver Canucks history. They talk about it like that. So what's the worst trade in Blues history? Is it that one? Is it Pronger?
It's that one or Pronger and Brewer. Don't want to confuse that with Pronger and Shanahan because I think that turned out to be a good trade. At the time, we were pissed off. Yeah. Everyone was pissed off. But
Shanahan was my favorite player. Shanahan was awesome.
Yeah.
And I was torn because I was ticked he left, but then I knew we were getting a badass defenseman eventually. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
badass defenseman coming off a DUI.
Right.
Not sure if he's going to stick in the
right.
One of my favorite stories that I ever heard about the Blues. And I think this might have been in that 2001 book they released. I can't remember for sure, but Chris Pronger said that he had a particularly bad game shortly after being traded. I'm sure you guys have heard this story. And Mike Keenan pulled him into his office. And basically all he said to him was, "Do you know what I fucking traded for you?" And that was it. That was all he needed. And it motivated him. And all of a sudden he's a Hall of Fame defenseman. Much as he hate Mike Keenan.
Yeah.
I guess he made the right move there.
Well, I can see where he could scare the shit out of a kid.
Yeah.
There's the Joe Mullen trade too.
Oh,
the prolific goal scorer, the 500 goal scorer eventually.
Little plug to the site you're using there, Curt. I've mentioned on the show before. Great site, NHLTradeTracker.com. They have every single trade in NHL history up there. It's you can search by player, by team. I found that a couple of years ago when I was in the media, and it's like, who was in that trade? Discovered that site. Holy cow! Yeah,
I just typed in
game changer.
Joe Mullen Blues trade.
You never been there before?
No, I've been there before. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I Googled it instead.
Yeah.
I didn't want to type in NHL trade tracker and then search on that side.
Well, they have a list there on the right, worst trades in NHL history or whatever.
And
there's a couple Blues ones on there.
Yes, the Pronger trade's on there.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, so we moved Mullen, Terry Johnson, and Rick Wilson for Eddie Beers, Charlie Bourgeois, and Gino Cavallini.
Oh, that's a great trade.
Oh, wow.
That's a great trade for the mid '80s Blues fans.
Well, yeah, because people, I love Gino Cavallini, and he was fine. But but
we acquired 3 mullets in that trade. Joey Mullen has a very curly head of hair. I don't think he had a mullet, so I think we won that trade.
So if you go through that worst trades tab, there's a couple ones that a lot of people are saying now worst in NHL history, possibly the Philip Forsberg trade. That's right there on top.
Yeah,
Martin Erat and Michael Latta for Philip Forsberg.
Yeah,
look what that guy's turned out to be. Yeah, and then another good one that I always liked was Andrew Raycroft goes to the Toronto Maple Leafs for the rights to Tuukka Rask. Great deal there, Brian Burke. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
As far as Blues trades, though, I mean, you gotta. I don't know. It's hard. It's a toss-up between those two, I think.
To me, it's the Pronger trade.
Yeah.
I've always hated this trade here because I think it kind of derailed that team.
Yeah.
But the Pronger trade set this. I mean, essentially, it was part of a sell-off, but that was like the one that broke this team's back for years. I think. It just that trade screwed up this team for a long time.
Ripped the heart and soul out of the team.
I wish that we had a podcast back then. The podcasts were even a thing. Were they even a thing back in 2004?
No.
But no, I wish that there was, because I remember thinking the minute the trade went down after I woke up. Well, I remember in the morning, I woke up because I think it happened overnight. I woke up, checked out TSN. That was before you got instant trade alerts. And I saw the trade, sat back in my chair. First thought in my head is Al McInnes retires and you trade the other good defenseman on your team.
Yeah. And
that makes no sense.
All we heard was, I mean, because Brewer had a pretty good career up to that point.
He was fine.
He was a Team Canada. He was a good player.
He was top 5 draft pick, wasn't he, for the Islanders?
Number 4, I think.
So we thought, okay, well, if we had to move Pronger, at least we got a good player back, and that did not pan out whatsoever.
Well, and then when Brewer was shit, and they realized it was backbone of this trade was Jeff Woywitka. And that guy was one of the worst damn defensemen I've ever seen. God, he was terrible.
Well, it wasn't Brewer's fault. It was the goaltending.
Right. Of course.
And the forwards and the back checking. It was
right.
It was always somebody else's fault.
Patrick O'Leam's fault for sure. Jason Boccaccio.
All the games that Brewer lost, it was 1/19 his fault.
Are we going to start naming Blues goalies again?
We're just
Tom Barrasso.
We're just going to name drop.
Ooh, Tom Barrasso.
Name drop Blues goalies all night long.
Yep.
That's like, what was the old NHL ESPN show it was the original Wyshynski and Jeff Merrick podcast, Random Penguins. They would just
that was a
people would tweet at them and throw in random penguins.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that's what we got to do. Random Blues goalies.
We talked about the worst Blues trade. Let's try and be a little positive. What's the best trade in Blues history that you could think of?
Dimitri.
So say that's the one that comes to mind.
Krister Olsen.
Yeah, Krister Olsen for Dimitri.
That's the one that jumps out at me. I mean,
the trade of can't even remember the guy's name. We flipped basically our 2012 top pick for Tarasenko.
David Rundblad,
who had a cup of coffee with the Coyotes and the Blackhawks,
I think,
and is back in Sweden now.
Yep.
I think that's pretty damn good.
That's a good one.
At least au courant.
Yeah. There's another one that just escaped me.
Brian Elliott for the pick that got us Kyrou. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it gave us Jake Allen, the starting goalie.
That trade is good on multiple levels, because then Allen gets the number 1, and then we get Kyrou.
There was another one that
and we unload the best modern day goalie we've had.
Under. Please, let's not talk about this. I don't want to be upset. I don't want.
How do you feel about the Ryan Miller trade?
That's what the Hawaii Blues fan guy said in the YouTube chat. He goes, the Ryan Miller trade, and
as best or worst.
I assume it means worst.
Yeah.
But the thing, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put it up there as near the worst because it didn't pan out.
Right.
But
it was a gamble.
It was a gamble, and I know Bill's a Halak fan. We didn't give up a lot. What
Halak
and Ott.
No, we
No.
got Ott.
No,
We got
Chris
Ott.
Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart.
Chris Stewart
I
and
couldn't-
William Carrier.
I couldn't stand Stewart. I hated that man with a passion, and I actually wanted Elliott to get more starts and moving Halak. I thought, well, we got Elliott. So anyway, I was fine with that trade. It didn't pan out because Miller didn't play well, but
Yeah, and then left as free agent and didn't.
right.
Yeah.
I just think.
But that was the
as far
writing was on the wall for that anyway.
As far as what we gave up, I don't think we gave up a lot.
No, but it was just to me, it was just a pointless trade.
It
did not need to be done.
right. It
Not even to get 5% better.
well, if you get 5% better,
Right. Exactly.
Think about
We
it
didn't.
this way too, and I know you guys might agree with me here. It also gave us Steve Ott for the next 4 years. And I'm sorry, I was not a Steve Ott fan. I'm still
not as a player.
You know,
as a coach, I'm sure
he's
fine,
a
but
good
as a
example.
player, I did not.
Well, I
like
think he was past his prime when he came here.
Right.
I think if we had him, 6 years prior, different story. But he's a good example of a guy that you absolutely can't stand when you play against, but you love him when he's on your team. When he got here, I didn't love him on our team.
No, I didn't either.
but he wasn't the player he was before, so that's not really.
He
a fair
wasn't.
statement.
He wasn't
Well,
going
the
to put
thing
up
that-
shorthanded goals.
The thing that
or
drove me crazy about
20 goals.
Hitchcock was the fact that the only thing I thought he truly brought to the team was he was decent at faceoffs. He always played left wing.
Mhm.
Hitchcock wouldn't play him at center.
YouTube. I YouTube chat guys. Jake Allen's mask says Minnesota just tied it up against Nashville. That fucking game better not go to overtime.
It will.
God damn it!
It always does.
The one that I went to overtime between Nashville and Minnesota, didn't it?
No.
Yes, it did. 2 nights ago, or
Yeah.
2 nights ago. Third.
Pause publicity. Yes, we
What
lost
country
our.
you think this is?
Pause publicitaire.
We lost our NBCSN feed, so we're watching the the RDS broadcast of the Montreal LA game.
That's French for your lapers.
I was going to say, getting back to trades real quick. Good trade for the Blues. One that I think kind of like cemented the team was Scott Mellenby for David Morissette.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell you who we traded for Mellenby.
David Morissette.
Okay.
And I don't think he even played in the NHL.
Alanis' brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
I think he actually does some work on the Canadian.
Oh, does he really?
podcasts. Yeah.
I think he originally wrote Ironic too.
Mellenby was a good
Don't you
acquisition.
think?
Mellenby was a nice solid player. He was a good solid player.
No, he went for the Blues. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think towards
Yeah.
the end of his career, he forgot how to skate. But
Well,
that run in 2001, that was exactly what the Blues
Yeah.
needed.
why
Yeah.
do players seem to get fat, out of shape, and they just can't skate when at the end of their career? It's like okay,
Kachuk.
yeah, or the jerseys get huge and their equipment gets huge. I'm like, my God, you guys have gotten big and just can't skate anymore. Why are you out there?
Yeah. Mellenby, though, I mean, the prime of his career was Florida, the cup run they won.
Oh yeah, the rat season,
The rat
Yep.
trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rat trick. 1994, part two of Today in Blues history. We're still on this.
Yeah.
1994, today's date, March 5th. Peter Nedved signed as a free agent. There's an offer sheet by the St. Louis Blues on March 5th. The move was a fiasco from the start. And he has this is STL Blues History's quote. It's from and he's got the article from STL Today on there. So
By the late, great Dave Luking.
yes,
Yeah.
right. Were you guys?
Late, great.
Didn't he?
He's
Is
not-
he still? No. Who died? No. Who's the other guy?
Dave, we're sorry.
No. There was another guy that recently, Canadian Blues beat writer that just passed.
Oh,
God, we're horrible.
He does Luking does Mound City Sports.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Luking's
Yeah,
still
no.
around.
Sorry,
I was gonna
Dave.
Say.
Sorry, Dave.
Say, I got to know Dave pretty well.
Yeah.
who was it? It was.
Oh, you're talking about Larry Wiggy.
Yes.
Yes.
Larry Wiggy.
Okay, yeah.
yeah. Wiggy.
Same era.
Oh, Larry Wiggy was.
I used to read his stuff in the Hockey News.
Nah, he was my inspiration. I loved him.
Yep.
But no, Dave is still with us, still
Yes.
alive and kicking.
Were you guys a Nedved fan?
I loved the deal at the time.
I
Like
did
I was super excited about it just because the Blues were making a push to get a highly sought after free agent who was kind of an unknown how good he could be, but he was an international talent. We didn't have a lot of that back in those days. We were used to Vitaly Karamnov and Vitaly Prokhorov, and who was the other guy? Died in the locomotive crash.
Korolev.
Yeah. Who wound up being the best of the three Russians that we brought over.
And Prokhorov was supposed to be the best, I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, they talked
And
about him a lot.
Prokhorov did nothing.
No, he was not
Karamnov did a little more than Prokhorov. And
Who wore your
Korolev,
favorite number?
he did. And Korolev had a nice career.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He really
Blackhawks, Blues.
He was
couple
still
other teams.
playing up until he was like 40, wasn't he?
I don't know. He had a number with the Blackhawks.
Well, and we're talking about Peter Nedved. That guy
Yeah.
was still playing, 2014, 2015. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy was 43 and he was on the Olympic roster.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I liked the acquisition. I liked him. I thought he was a good player.
Yeah.
And it was they signed him for $4 million over 3 years. It seems like nothing now.
Yeah.
Signing bonus was $650K plus $900,000 salary for this season, which was in '94.
Yeah. That era, the Jack Quinn, Mike Shanahan, they made some moves.
They wheeled and dealed.
Right.
And they got in trouble.
Right. They got in a lot of trouble. The league really
Hated him.
punished the Blues for
And-
years for opening free agency with
And
Scott Stevens.
Quinn is the reason that we got fucked in the Stevens Shanahan,
Right.
the Stevens deal.
Right.
Signing Stevens because he left a paper trail that was found. And
Dumbass.
oh yeah,
Shred that shit.
I'm
man.
I'm fuzzy on the details because I remember listening to this on the radio on KMOX. I was driving home from what year was that? I was driving home from somewhere.
Strip club.
And it might have been probably. Chances are yes.
He
If you
lived
play
on
the
east
odds.
side.
Men's bathhouse.
No, it was Dottie's Body Shop, just north of Fairview Heights. Left side of 159 going north. About a
Caseyville,
mile.
Illinois.
About a mile or so. I think Stonewall's there now. Something that's close to it,
It's
isn't
close to it.
Yeah.
It's close to it.
it? Yeah, no, I remember them saying that about Quinn and about leaving a paper trail, and pretty sure that Quinn, when he was caught or he turned the Blues in or something, he fucked over the Blues somehow. I mean, he like ratted somebody out, or when he was questioned about it, he like spilled his guts and basically screwed the team over.
Yeah.
I mean, it was his fault in the first place, but
And Mike Shanahan, he was also not afraid of taking business risks, like
Right.
backdating stock options and getting fined by the SEC. And
yeah, but he's generally loved by the average fan though,
Mhm.
because I mean,
They-
you try to win, to
Right.
win, you love, you're loved. So
they tried.
they did. Oh, they tried hard.
Yeah.
I think most of the owners have tried hard.
Right.
I think so.
Real hard. It's interesting how we haven't had an ownership in a long time that was like,
It was,
we're
it was-
cutting salary and we're just gonna go middle of the road. We
Well,
haven't had it in a long
that
time.
was Bill Laurie after he didn't get his
Right.
NBA
That
franchise,
was he was trying to sell the team too. That was different. I think.
right after he found out he wasn't getting an NBA
Right.
franchise.
That was the
he
last
was
time,
done.
but that was a different situation where he wanted to sell the team. I think an ownership that was like in it still.
Right.
And
And
they wanted-
Purina was the last ownership, right?
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
And then
that was
Harry Ornest.
Yeah.
Purina ended up being people either love or hate Purina, and
We talked about this last week, I think.
because they saved the team and then they
Yeah.
almost lost, set the team
Yeah.
packing. God, it's such a
Right. Victor Mete avec la bu.
Montreal's up 1-0 against LA, so we're watching that game.
Yeah.
And I can at least the French numbers are the same as English, so I can. It's 1-0.
What is,
C'est 1-0.
What does ire mean?
Yeah.
Première.
The logos aren't in French, so I know which team's which. And MTL and LA are.
The logo change when it's a French broadcast.
You never know. Those French have a different word for everything. Can you believe those people?
So we're
So
talking
far,
about, we're talking about trades earlier. We got a couple people in the chat. We should get the Miller trade. Let's see, we already talked about that with Hawaii Blues fan Bob Rakowski. Book's still on the way. Sorry, Bob. Schenn trade wasn't too shabby. Hawaii Blues fan, the whole trade. Minnesota. Yeah.
See, the whole trade, we talked about that, and that got Calgary a cup. They won a cup of those players. So that, I mean, is a great
They
trade.
would tell you it's a great trade.
It was that's the trade that's one of those. It's a good for both teams because they won a cup and we got Brett Hull.
Yep.
So now, would they have won a cup later with Hull? I don't know.
You got to think they would, but you never know.
Well, you'd have thought
There's
we
no
would have
way
won a
to
cup with
know.
Hull
Yeah,
too.
that's true. It's a good point.
Hull, Pronger, McInnes. Fuck.
Turgeon,
Corson, Fuhrer.
Gretzky.
Yuri
Gretzky.
Himlev.
Himlev. Brian Noonan.
Adam Creighton.
Doug Lidster.
Lidster.
Missing link.
Okay, so Bennington was named Rookie of the Month for February.
That's a shock.
So I guess we got to talk about current events.
So yeah, well, yeah.
We need to have
enough.
We need to have like a way back podcast, like once a month, where we just sit here and talk
Oh,
about.
I could talk forever.
Oh, yeah.
That's so much fun.
We actually should do that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Tune in. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Do
Chime in the chat.
That's what if we were just did a show like during the summer or something, and where there was no news, that's what it would be. It'd be just talk shooting the shit. We'd fall into that. Yeah,
we should do that.
I think.
Yeah, theme show once a month. We do a theme. Favorite trade.
This is where ideas are
player,
born, by the way.
Right.
Right here on live air.
Right. Favorite player.
Most hated player.
Most hated player.
Yeah.
Most hated player when he didn't play for the Blues.
That played for the Blues at one time.
Right.
Okay. Before and after.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got one that
hot.
I would say, you know what, Brendan Shanahan. I loved him with the Blues, and when he was on the Red Wings, I wanted to punch him in the face.
That was a weird thing. I hated him, but I didn't hate him with the Red Wings. I hated him because he was a Red Wing, but I didn't really hate him.
I hated his goatee. He needed to shave that goatee.
Yeah.
So Bennington, but really, I mean, could have been Player of the Month for February, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
he could have.
There was nobody better than him. I mean, unless you're talking a forward who lit it up. But I mean, yeah.
Well, who'd they give it to? It wasn't it. Was it Kucherov?
Kucherov, I think, was number 1. Tarasenko was number 3. And Kane was number 2.
I mean, the week that Tarasenko got second star to Kucherov's first star, I mean, that was insane. He had 11 points in 5 games, and Kucherov had 12.
Yeah,
in 5 games.
Kucherov's a machine.
Yeah, he's insane.
That team is
like 104 points now, right?
That team's a juggernaut, and they're going to lose in the second round.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Vasilevsky's going to get injured in the first round, and
they got Louis Domingue.
Yeah, Louis Domingue. Not going to carry him.
They're gonna lose, and it's going to be like, oh my god, we're going to watch this, and oh my gosh, they're on the verge of losing, and we're going to like glued to our TV, and they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. That's going to be amazing.
Blue Jackets are going to go all the way.
Oh, if they even get in. I am rooting for
Yarmo.
No, I'm not. I'm rooting for them to miss the playoffs so I can watch Blue Jacket Twitter burn.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
There'd
be a fire sale.
There's people getting fired.
I don't think I have. I don't follow anybody in Columbus Twitter, so
I don't either. But I'm saying I would. Yeah, I would pull up the hashtag, and I would just watch it. Just feed like when they get eliminated. Oh. And I have nothing against Columbus. I root for things to burn. I really do.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
That's it. I want to see the hysteria because as a Blues fan, we've been through a lot of shit. And it's like, let's see somebody else go through it for a while.
Curt was standing in Naperville when the Chicago fire was going on, just going, yeah, burn, baby.
With my can of gasoline. Bennington led all netminders, rookies and veterans with 10 wins and 4 shutouts and 11 appearances. He was 10-1-0 with a 1.44 GAA and a 9.45 save percentage with 4 shutouts. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I know Kucherov had an insane month, and he basically just said this, but those are numbers to be player of the month.
You know what? You can't play better than that as a goalie. You will not see a goalie really play better than that. Those are elite, the elite of elite numbers for a month. You just can't beat that. Who's going to go 11-0 in a short month? It's February. and with a less than 1.4 GAA and a better than 9.45. It's not going to happen.
I mean, outside of Craig Billington, nobody.
Craig Billington. Billington became the 9th rookie goaltender in NHL history to earn 10+ wins in a calendar month, and the first to achieve the feat since Detroit's Jimmy Howard in 2010, when he went 12-2-1 in a longer month, I'm sure. He also became the 10th rookie netminder in league history to post a 9-game win streak, as well as the 4th to win each of his first 7 home starts. Joining Frank McCool, that's a great name.
Oh, man. I'd love to hang out with that guy.
Ken Dryden, who's that? And Wayne Thomas. And Bennington yielded 2 or fewer goals in 9 of his 11 February outings, including 4 shutouts and consecutive clean sheets. Yeah, that's not my writing. That's copy and pasted. That's plagiarized.
What is this? Premier League soccer? Is he Allison Becker?
Bennington capped the month with another shutout, making him the 2nd goaltender in the NHL's modern era since 1943-44 with 5 shutouts through his first 18 career starts. Also tied with Jacques Plante. So
it's elite company.
Elite company.
That guy was okay.
Jacques Plante?
Yeah, he was all right. He was no Bill Day.
No. Billington.
He was no Craig Billington.
Definitely wasn't a Ron Tugnutt.
No. That's the best name. And best name in hockey. See, we could have a show. Best favorite
name.
player, worst hated player, best name.
I don't know, man.
Best name. Best hockey name.
You get the three of us in a room, and like yeah.
It's hard to beat Harry Dick. There was a player named, look him up,
but
named
Chicago
Harry
Blackhawks.
Well,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Yeah, well, that's the high school chuckle great name.
But come on,
But you know what? That's I love his parents.
Yanni Ninima.
Yanni
Okay,
Nienema.
that's a good one.
Oleg Tverdovsky.
Zarly Zalapsky.
Zarly Zalapsky.
That's a
Yep,
great one.
That's a good one.
I actually used that name in a presentation at work. I did a little video presentation for something. It was years ago. And part of the presentation was a little thing popped up, and it was a client writing to a vendor or whatever. And they typed out blah, 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 in the letter, and at the end they signed Zarly Zalapsky.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I've had before my old hockey team. We every time somebody would spit, we'd say they were Hock and a Lube.
Hock and Lube.
Yes,
that's a good name. Hock and Lube.
I know I've told the story on the show before, but I once almost got away with getting out of school by telling my mom I had Darius Kasparaitis. She told my dad, and my dad said,
and she was
no. That's a New York Rangers defenseman. He's going to school.
Rub some Buka Boom on it. It'll be fine.
That would have been the best response.
Jake Allen's Mask said he hated Steve Ott before he was a Blue. I think everyone did.
You know what's funny is that I dated a girl. Isn't that crazy? I dated a girl.
Wow.
I know.
She her family knew the Ott family, and so this is when he was a Dallas Star, when he was in his heyday of just pissing everyone off. And she always told us she didn't watch hockey. She said she did, but she didn't. And she said Steve Ott was her favorite player. And I told her, I'm like, listen, you can go tell Steve Ott and his family that he's a piece of shit and give him my home address. That's fine.
That fucking Minnesota-Nashville game went to overtime. Motherfuckers. That's 2 games in a row.
Yeah. Well,
Nashville wins
fucking
in the
hate both those
shootout.
teams.
After the
Nashville won in the shootout.
Did they?
Yeah. After the run that we went on, we were due some bad juju in the standings. Now every game in the Central, the teams in contention are going to go to overtime.
Well, we did get a lot of teams losing to help us pave the way to skyrocket up the standings.
Right.
I get it, but still, fuck those 2. The back-to-back games. They had a home and a home, and fucking both games go to overtime. Assholes.
I hate them.
Bunch of jerks.
Yeah, they are a bunch of jerks. I want one of those T-shirts.
I think that's
I do too.
Those are fantastic.
I was about to say, I think that's hashtag, though it's trademarked.
You say hash mouth?
Hashmarked. it's the Twitter version of trademarking something. You hash mark it.
Yeah, hash market.
I'm mentally fried at this point.
Jake Allen's Mask says, ask how likely do you guys think it is that the Blues miss the playoffs? I say it's pretty likely, to be honest, he says.
Well, that's quite the switch from last week's optimism.
Right? Well, that was somebody else.
Yeah. Zed's not here. Lord Zed from the Power Rangers isn't here.
I think it's
dead, baby.
The strength of schedule says otherwise to me.
The strength of schedule, but the fucking scheduling. Come on, we got back-to-backs again this week.
I know. It's not even a weekend.
Well, Well, that dude, I'll admit, that kind of drove me nuts. The Blues back-to-back on the weekends.
But they did very well.
They did.
Until
last really weekend. Well.
Yeah, I weekend was not
still.
Good.
They got.
But, it drove me crazy. So I'm like, man, I don't want to, I have to watch the Blues now, so I can't go do anything. Right. Not that I have a life.
Right.
Yeah. Jake Allen's Mass says we played down to our competition, though. We'll find out tomorrow night. Because to be honest, Dallas is fighting for. They played it. They've been up and down. They've looked like shit against us. They looked good against us last game.
I was say, I think for the most part, the last couple of years, they've looked good against the Blues.
Yeah.
They won the series 3-1, and Ben Bishop played great the 2 games.
He did, but the first time we played in the season, or was it 2 or 3 games ago, whatever it was, I thought they looked terrible, and they beat us because we played awful.
Yeah.
I thought the game was a shitty.
Yeah, I remember Allen gave up a shitty goal then, which I guess you could just. I would probably imagine Jake Allen gave up a shitty goal in that game, but I do remember a bad Tyler Seguin goal going in.
And Carolina is on fire. They're us in February.
Yeah.
So the last couple games, I'm not going to say that they played down and lost to teams that were terrible. They're not. We'll find out tomorrow. If we lose tomorrow and don't look that great tomorrow, then I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because
it's not even if they lose. I think, because you're going to lose games. Sometimes teams are going to step up and play well, but if they don't look good, that's my concern. I think because they don't look good over the weekend.
If we're talking about tomorrow's game, I think the thing I worry about most is going into Anaheim and getting an injury. You're playing against Corey Perry, Ryan Kessler's back. They play dirty, and it seems like that would be the worry in this game. They had a really good game against Colorado, beat them on Sunday, but they're playing tonight, so they'll be back to back. We'll be fresh for the. Yeah, I think that's the first time in a while that's happened for us.
I hate the Ducks. God. I've always hated. Even I begrudgingly rooted for the Ducks in 2007 so Pronger, so I could see him raise the cup. But
the last time I rooted for the Ducks was Jaguar.
Yeah, I was a big Jaguar fan too. Yeah,
last week the comment was made that the NHL.com they update their site quickly. Bullshit. Oh, there it did. Yeah. It was 4-4 just a second ago.
As you pointed to it,
but the game ended 5 minutes ago.
God, Curt, Jesus.
So Dallas.
The NHL web guy's watching right now, and he's just like, I'm gonna wait until he says something.
Ducks and Coyotes tied at 1 in the third.
Yeah,
how was that game in the third?
I almost want to put the Rangers game on Stars.
Do it. Fuck Bill.
Yeah.
I love you, Bill.
What?
It's almost over. That's why I was gonna see the end.
Yeah, put it on. Put it on.
Vamp. Yeah, we got a vamp.
We'll come back to this game.
Oh yeah.
So I do want to catch the Benoit Brunet commentary in between, or Benoit Brunet commentary in between periods.
Benoit Brunet. That's another good hockey name right there. Benoit Brunet.
Number 22
I always liked
on
Mike
that 93
Knuble.
team.
Mike Knubel's a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jeff Bookeboom was one of my favorites.
Jeff Bookeboom.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Until he basically is.
Who had
messed up.
Who had a better name than him? The guy the Blues traded Eric Brewer for, but he never played. Brock Bookeboom.
Oh yeah.
That's a hell of a name.
That is a better name.
Yep.
Got the alliteration
his
going.
kid, right? It was Jeff Bookeboom's
I think it was his kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to him?
Wash out.
Let's find out.
And Tarasenko was named the 3rd star of the month, which we talked about. He had 10 goals, 12 assists, 22 points in 14 games. He collected points in 12 of his 14 appearances, highlighted by 6 multi-point efforts. That included his 4th career hat trick on February 10th at Nashville, sealed in overtime by his 200th NHL goal. Tarasenko joins Tampa Bay's Nikita Kucherov and Chicago's Patrick Kane as the NHL's 3 stars for the month.
Brock Bookeboom is playing in Italy.
Good for him.
That's interesting. Jason Mazzotti. Right?
Yeah.
Come on. Team Italy. He's the
Yeah,
only
he
Italian
was-
never play in the NHL.
Yeah.
He was a goalie.
Yeah, that's right. He was a goalie.
I don't know why the hell I know that, but I know that.
Oh, fuck. I used to know what he played.
We're going to kill it at trivia next week.
We are. Wait, are we playing trivia next week?
We are.
Are we?
We got a charity thing we're going to.
Oh, that's
remember?
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Am
That's
I
right.
going to that? Did I commit to this?
I don't know. Who cares?
I will. I will.
We talked. Oh, yeah.
You
We
know,
talked about that.
Should we? We should probably mention that on the show, right? You guys keep going. I'll
Yeah,
I'll
look it
it
up.
up.
Yeah.
And that way I'll give the exact
I
information.
forgot about it. I don't.
It's at Center Ice Brewery on next Wednesday.
Oh, well,
It's a hockey trivia night.
I could do that.
And we talked about doing the show from there. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we talked to Steve. Steve, if you're listening, text in and say, "Yeah, you can do the show here." I want those exact words.
Why is this game not on?
Oh shit, we got to keep vamping.
Yeah.
Damn it.
First technology is failing.
So
us
another
today.
good name is I'm drawing a blank.
Rayo
now.
Ristolainen.
Oh yeah, that's a
Edmonton
great
Oilers?
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rasmus Ristolainen.
Yeah. There's some Finns, I think, have the best names.
Yeah, Finns have good names.
San Jose had a draft pick that I thought, if the guy cracks the NHL, the name was the best. It was Timu Riyarvi. It was like 12 I's,
Good
3
Lord.
A's. Yeah.
Woo. Another name that I always really enjoyed was I just forgot it.
Vladimir Chubby Turkey.
Oh, that's it. Yes, Vladimir Chepeturkin. That's what I was going to say.
Chubby
yeah.
Turkey.
Chubby Turkey. Awful.
Oh man, when the Blues got him, I thought, oh yeah, just for his name, I'm excited for that.
I don't know why this game's not loading.
Let's see if I can get on the iPad.
Well, we could actually sit and talk about what Curt just mentioned.
Yeah.
Tarasenko, third star of the month. That's cool. I mean, we talked about it when this team was shit, that we were kind of ready to maybe move on from him. I mean, we were kind of talking, hey, let's see what we can get for this guy. I mean, they should at least be listening to calls. I know that's something. I mean, there's a rant right there that I could go off on, is the people who say, oh, remember all the people who wanted to trade Tarasenko? Oh, what are you saying now? Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Listen. All right. He was playing terrible. He didn't look like a goal scorer anymore. I don't know what it was. Maybe he healed properly from his injury. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they just found the right combination. Maybe it was that he got confidence in his goaltender. I don't know what it was, but something changed in his game. Now, yeah, it would be silly to trade the guy because he's back to what we thought he was a couple of years ago. But to say that, oh yeah, people are dumb for wanting to trade him when he's looking like shit and he doesn't even look like a 20 goal scorer. Yeah, you might want to try and trade him.
Those are highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, commercial.
It's a commercial. Yeah. Yeah. No. So O'Reilly and Tarasenko over the last couple of games, I think have been really carrying the dead weight of Jaden Schwartz, and we need Schenn back in the lineup really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that it just wasn't working. Well, the dead weight of Schwartz and then Maroon. Yeah. God. And I mean, O'Reilly is just dried up the last couple of games. He had a great chance in the Dallas game at the post.
Would you say that Maroon is one of the biggest bust signings we've had?
I don't even say that.
Except
you
for
know
the
what?
money.
No, I was going to say,
okay.
I don't
Well,
think I
as far
would
as
say that just because of
expectations
the
go,
money.
I get it. I get the thank God that he signed for less.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like expectations go, and like, oh my God, we got such a bargain on the guy going into the season. He hasn't done anything.
No, he hasn't. And you know what though? I mean, I will say I think he's played better as of late. I didn't really notice him too much in the 2 games over the weekend, but before that, I thought he's been playing pretty well. But yeah, as far as production goes and numbers, yeah, doesn't even look like a top 9 forward.
I tweeted out. I think does anything sound less threatening than Maroon with the puck?
Yeah.
It's like, oh great. It just doesn't. He never does anything with it. It's just. I mean, he was billed as a guy. He even said himself, "Yeah, I got good hands around the net." No, you don't.
No, he doesn't.
No, you don't. He's slow, which we knew, but he's slow and he just doesn't. He's not good on the boards. He's not good at holding off a checker on the boards. He gets the puck taken from him too easy. It's just he's just a disappointment.
The last couple of games of the run in February, he looked promising. He had an extra step in his game, but it doesn't last, and he doesn't convert. He hasn't had the ability to convert around the net. And if he had such great hands, he would have 20 goals.
He's had a ton of opportunities. And before he had his first goal, he could have had 6.
Yeah. He reminds me of Jim Campbell, his last year in St. Louis. That dude was fed every opportunity to score, but he just miffed it every single time. And that's Maroon. I mean, Maroon's been given chances to just bury the puck, and he just doesn't do it.
Bury the puck like Ben Bishop's buried in the net right now.
Oh, he's faking being hurt.
He's pulling a soccer player.
Yeah.
I yelled at. So I went to a Kansas City Mavericks game over the weekend when I was there too, and I yelled at a player. I said, "Oh, stop being a soccer player," because the guy literally went down. The whistle goes. I mean, he's thriving on the ice, got his hands over his head. The minute the whistle goes, stands up, skates to the bench. Fuck that. That's, oh my God, there's nothing more annoying. I yelled at, and this guy turns around and he just goes, "Hey man, I play soccer for Rockhurst." Good for you, man. Bunch of soccer players are pussies. What do you want me to say?
Oh, this looks bad. This looks like could be the injury that Ben Bishop's been waiting for.
I think he's fine. He's milking it.
Roman Polak, don't open that door.
I didn't see it. I didn't see what happened. He got run over?
Yeah, they were crashing the net pretty hard.
Sean Avery come out of retirement? Oh, here's a replay. Let's see how bad Bishop got it.
Yeah. This is very exciting for our audience.
His own
man.
Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome, the cross check on.
He was ready to drop it.
I think it's a head. They knocked heads.
Yeah,
that's what the issue was.
Oh, poor Big Ben.
Anyway,
Rorschach's back in the chat. He says, "What's up, y'all? What's up, Rorschach?" We call him Rorschach. I don't know if that's what he likes to go by, but I think it works. It reminds me of what the hell was that superhero movie? The not Mystery Men. The real dark one. Watchmen. Thank you. Yeah, there was the one guy was named Rorschach in that. I'm only worried about the Sharks if the Blues make the playoffs. I think he was kind of agreeing with us here on Schwartz is in such a funk, along with Maroon, have killed all the mojo O'Reilly and Tarasenko had. And then he also mentions I had a fun discussion with Curt during the Dallas game about who the starter should have been for Carolina and Dallas.
Yeah. Every discussion with Curt is a fun discussion with Curt.
Which Curt?
That is me.
Oh, well.
Curt, me.
Can't really agree with that.
There's only one Curt here.
I mean, we talking about Curt
Chaplin, the one who won the
the
contest.
You never know.
Anyway, so March 1st, we played a bunch of jerks in Carolina. Lost this one 5-2. The first of back-to-backs. Allen was in net on the road. Just as we predicted that show before that Allen was going to play that game, and then Bishop would get the next one. Which we disagreed about. You said, I'm pointing at you. That's rude. I don't care. Didn't you say you'd rather have seen the other way around?
I actually agree with Rorschach.
Okay.
He was tweeting you about it.
Yeah.
And going into the game, I said the exact same thing you guys did, that I wanted to see Allen on the road because he's better on the road. But once he made his case with you, I actually sided with him. And my reasoning being because Bennington got lit up last time against the Stars. And I'm not saying that they should have started Allen. I think they still made the right move. Let's put it like that. I'm tired of the coddling of Allen. If Allen could just deal with shit and face his home fans, I think maybe you have the discussion of flipping what we saw over the weekend. But You can't, because you can't play Jake Allen at home because he's too scared of the St. Louis people.
Well, he's the backup now anyway. It's solidly in the backup, so he's not going to play mini games at all anyway.
But my case was with Rorschach, and I get that Dallas is a bigger game because they're a division rival. They're just behind you in the standings. I understand all that, so you want to have your starter in that game. But the way Carolina's been rolling, I'd rather have had our better goalie in.
Do you think it would have mattered?
Not the way they played.
Because they got to play.
No, but I mean,
and then you got Allen
again,
against Dallas.
We talk about the confidence going into games. I mean, maybe it's a different feeling with Binnington and net against Carolina. Maybe they come out differently.
Maybe. Well, they scored first.
But
they scored first against Carolina.
You know what I would have honestly like?
They came out okay.
What I would have liked, Binnington start both games.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
He hasn't had a chance to do it.
I'm okay with that because you got a big break coming up here this week.
Yeah, well,
you got
3
until
days,
Wednesday.
Yeah,
4 days, right?
3 days. We had 3 days off.
Yeah, the first 3
Sunday,
days.
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, you're right.
Full
3
days.
But yeah, I mean,
but with it being in Anaheim, it's like 3.25 days.
No, I mean, I think you had enough break there to where you give him rest. You don't make him practice for 2 days there, and he'd be fine to come out on Wednesday and play. Not that you need him Wednesday. I mean, you could play Allen on Wednesday against the Ducks. Give him a longer break. I mean, I don't know. I would have been fine with them starting in both games.
I think at the time against Carolina, they still are solidly in a playoff spot. They've moved so far up. They're not. I could see starting Binnington if we're like a fringe wild card, like right on the edge. We need these points so bad. Honestly, I mean we're solidly in a playoff spot right now. At the time, so and we still are. But I can get. I don't see the urgency to play Binnington in both games necessarily. I get not wanting to burn Binnington out and get him some rest. I get it. So Binnington has what 4 days off now? Or no, I'm sorry, he started against Dallas, so he had 3 days off. So.
But I'm saying, too, that if you would have started in both games, you give Allen Anaheim, and you're still going to give him 4 or 5 days off there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you started in both games.
Who started against the Kings? Binnington started against the Kings, and we lost.
He got lit up.
Yep. But we didn't play good either. So.
No, that was a bad game.
Yeah,
they came out good, but then they fell apart.
Like against Carolina. Yeah. They scored first against Carolina, and then they've lost.
Yeah. Well, when Darren Peng is pointing out in the first 10 minutes of a game that the gaps between the forwards and D are noticeably different than they have been over the winning streak, things aren't going to go well. And I don't think at the end of the day, Carolina was on fire in that game. I think they're going to win it. Maybe it's not as bad a margin, and
maybe you get a point going overtime,
right? Instead of us having to talk about the worst goal Jake Allen's given up all fucking season.
I would bench his ass. Sorry, we shouldn't get there yet.
This is 2 games ago. We're not gonna detail.
We don't have to go by bullet by bullet on Curt's outline.
I would have told him right there and said, "You're not playing for 3 weeks." I'm calling up Husso. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, what the fuck, man?
His strength is playing the puck. Right. That is his greatest strength, is handling the puck. And he botched that up. So, and yeah, I don't. I think that is Jake Allen in a nutshell. As far as because he's played well, and then there's the overtime goal that he allows last week, and it's like motherfucker, and that's the roller coaster. And then in this game, it's that botched play. It's like motherfucker.
Right, and maybe that overtime goal against Minnesota is what would have been the motivation for saying, you know what, Jordan, you need to play back-to-back games.
You know what? If you make that point, I could maybe get behind that. That as a punishment to Allen.
Yeah, well,
I can get behind that more so. I think is based on that goal is allowed. You're gonna sit for a while because yes, you played fantastic during the game, but you cost the team a chance at their second point. Yep. It was all on him. So,
I thought, getting to this game, Bill, you tell me you're the goalie here. I thought the first 2 goals Carolina scored were shit too. I think he could have had both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine if one of them goes in. Goalies are going to give us soft goals. It's going to happen. You know, I'm not going to blame a goalie for every single soft goal, but when you give up those and then you give the puck up in the corner like that, what the hell?
And I don't really. I mean, I don't recall both goals, but I know on at least one of them. Again, Jake Allen too deep in the net.
Yeah.
You know, he's
The overtime goal?
No, that was one of the first 2 goals in the Carolina before he dove to get the puck.
Right. That was interesting too, because like 99% of the people that that talked about that goal online were like, "Oh my god, what awful goal that was." I have a social media fail for this particular goal. And it was a conversation I had with her about this. Sarah at Sar Sings 27. We had a back and forth, and she ended up blocking me after this conversation, which I was disappointed to hear because it was a good conversation. It was we disagreed. We disagreed.
You didn't shit enough rainbows.
I don't call people names on Twitter. I don't get mean on Twitter. I state my opinion and my stance. And if I have a debate with somebody, it goes back and forth. And sometimes it gets a little, but I never
chippy.
I never attack people ever. I don't. That's childish.
You're about civil discourse,
right? I enjoy a good back and forth debate on something. I like it.
You were recently commended by Mr. Blues Hat.
Yes.
For having good conversation.
We disagreed on something.
Not that his opinion matters.
No, it doesn't matter because he doesn't think we're a contender. But no, she said that Jake Allen, this is her tweet. Jake Allen may have failed to stop and this is in response to the shorthanded goal given up by Allen, the misplay against Carolina.
Fought down in the corner, go boom.
Right. Jake Allen may have failed to stop a bad shorthanded goal, but the defense failed to block multiple shots and left him out to dry. They failed him. You can blame Allen, fine, but he only gets 1/19 of the blame. That leaves 18/19 on other individuals who play the game with him. I responded back fuzzy math. That's and then we had a discussion about it. But I'm going to ask you guys.
What did Ivan Barbashev do to you?
I don't get that. I don't get the and this, and no one else is saying this. I'm just picking on her one tweet because it's a fail, I think. I don't understand that mindset. I don't know where that comes from. If a goalie allows a super, super soft goal, he's to blame for that as much as the fourth liner that plays 8 minutes a game. And he's, I don't understand that whatsoever. Or the guy who scores 2 goals, he's as much, they're all to blame the same.
Well, I know that some of your argument back, this is summarizing a little bit of what you said, that it's a weighted position.
It is weighted. It's the most important position on the ice.
Yeah, it is.
And
arguably in North American professional sports.
Right.
Just like if a pitcher throws a wild pitch and the catcher doesn't catch it, you're going to tell me it's the catcher's fault? No, it's the pitcher for throwing the wild pitch.
And I think her stance too was that the defense failed to block multiple shots. So she's blaming the rest of the team all game long for stuff, that everyone else must make mistakes. I got news for people that have this mindset. Mistakes happen all over the ice all game long for both teams every game.
That's how goals are scored.
There's a bad pass that's intercepted, or a missed check, or a missing an assignment or something. It happens all the time
against Dallas.
It happens, and sometimes a goal goes in, and if a goalie can stop it, then they need to stop it, because it's impossible for a team to play a perfect game on the ice. You can't do it. That's just the way hockey is. The way the sport is played. the speed of the game, the puck on the ice, there's going to be all kinds of mishandles and things. It's a game of teams win by whoever takes advantage of the most mistakes the other team makes.
Yeah.
To be honest, to simplify it.
If it was a perfect game, it'd be 0-0.
Yeah.
And nobody would win. The shootout would go on
That's
forever.
And
that
that's
would never happen.
And that's why this season, more so than any other season, for a strange reason, that people will defend Allen for, earlier in the season when he was playing just like dog shit. The defense made a mistake earlier in the zone they didn't clear it, and then 15 seconds later they score. Well, yeah,
right.
But it was a stoppable shot. So he made a mistake, but that it's almost like you have to give the players on the ice the freedom to make mistakes because they all do them all the time. And a goaltender makes a mistake that it's in the back of his net. Now,
it's magnified.
It's not fair, that's why it's the most important position on the ice. That's the way it works.
That's why Carey Price is signed for 57 years. Right? No, I mean it is silly for somebody to compare a goalie's mistake to the rest of the team. I mean, listen, to
a mischeck, a misplay at center, a misplay in
and we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think Pietrangelo had a turnover and it led to a goal a minute later on Allen that was a weak goal, and everybody said, well, I mean, if Pietrangelo clears the puck there, then Allen doesn't go up that goal. Yeah, you're right, but Allen needs to make that damn save. I mean, we talk about it. It goes both ways. It's a revolving door that you need your goalie to step up when your team screws up, when they turn the puck over. You need your goalie to step up and make a big play. It's the other way around too. Yeah. That if your goalie, is out of position, your guy makes a block, your guy, a couple of games ago, we talked about the wraparound, Roman Yossi twice in a game. First time Vince Dunn was there and he bailed his goalie out. Second time, Vince Dunn wasn't on the ice to make the save and it goes in the net. That's on Jake Allen. Just because Jake Allen makes a mistake and you want to not blame Jake Allen, you want to blame everyone else. That's not how it works. Everyone's going to make a mistake. And when it's a weighted position like that, you need your goalie to be able to step up in moments and make the big play. And he just hasn't been doing that. And he didn't do that at all in the Carolina game.
Bob Rakowski says goalie's job is dealing with defensive mistakes, not just defensive mistakes, defensive responsibilities in the defensive zone. And that's true because they happen all the time. Nobody makes perfect plays every time they're on the ice. It just doesn't happen. Except Bill. And Bill,
I'm retired.
Bill, to get the goalie's perspective, do you agree, disagree with that? Or as far as like the goalie being the most important position on the ice?
No, that's why I wanted to play the position from age 3. It is unless your team is dominant all around, you are going to have to be a key component to every game. And it is.
Thank you. And I think goalies dictate how the entire team plays.
Look at what Jordan Binnington did for this team. Yeah. He came in and he played a quiet, confident game and turned this team around. I credit him for coming in late December and really righting the ship. I mean, I had pretty much written the team off. I think we all had.
And most of us did.
And
anyone who says they didn't is a freaking
liar. Then you watch him in that game in Philly where he gets the shutout.
Yeah.
And then a couple nights later, they come to town and Montreal's in town. And the only game I've gone to all season. And I was just amazed at just how efficient he was and how confident the team played in front of him. Because they didn't expect a shit goal.
Yeah, if you watch that Philadelphia game, if you have NHL TV, go back and watch that Philadelphia game, his first start where he got the shutout. I guarantee you that is a different looking Blues team than you saw during that 11-game winning streak because they still had no confidence.
Yep.
They were not playing the defensive game they've been playing lately. They won that game 1-0, right?
Was it 1-0?
Which game was it?
The Philadelphia game.
January.
I want to say maybe 2 with an empty netter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way.
Yeah.
They won that game by freaking a hair, and and I know that they've done that a little recently too, but I mean, they did not look like the confident team, but then they got the confidence that their goalie, Jordan Binnington, is going to make the big save.
There it is. Monday.
What is it?
I'm missing it. Oh, yeah, 3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Maybe there was.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I drink too much.
Friend of the show, Lance from the Drop Podcast, jumped into that discussion that Sarah and I were having and commented about when I said that the goaltenders kind of dictate how the whole team plays, and he disagreed with that because he's
a goalie.
He was a goalie, so. And I said, I'm speaking from a forward's perspective. I can tell you for sure that the skaters are affected directly by your goaltender. Right. I mean, maybe a goaltender, maybe he doesn't realize how much the skaters, and he said he did play right wing, too. So, but maybe he doesn't realize how much the goaltenders do affect the skaters when he's in net.
Just watch body language. Watch when they pan to the bench after a soft goal. You see the shoulders, right? The shoulders slump, the big size, the eye rolls, the looking up to the heavens.
And it's not even just watching how the Blues react or any team reacts to a team with that in the NHL. It's playing the game. It's like from what I've experienced.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a game and the goalie that's in net for us allows a bad goal, and you're working your butt off out there, and all of a sudden it's a close game, and the goalie has a bad goal, it's like it just affects you. You can't help it. I guess it's kudos to those who can get over that quickly, because that's you need to, but it does affect the team, and just like a really good play, a good save energizes your team and gets you a kick in the butt. Say, okay, we got to help this guy out because he's working his butt off back there and keeping the puck out of the net. We have to help him more. It happens all the time. On the bench, you'll hear, help him out. He's kicking ass, help him out. And guys kick it up a notch. So,
that's something I yell almost weekly at my team. My goalie will make a huge save, and then the puck's not cleared, or it's at his feet or whatever. And it's the guy just made a huge save. Like, help out your goalie, guys. Get out there, clear the puck, get it to the corner, whatever you can do.
As a goalie, I only a few times as I played goal did I feel like my team was letting me down when I was playing a great game. Curt knows me pretty well. He knows how competitive I am. I've broken plenty of sticks over the goal.
Bill is violently competitive.
But it's frustration with my own play more often than it was frustration with, my team in front of me. I think it comes down to the weight of the position. It is a weighted position. Don't tell me it's not. There's no possible way it isn't the most important position on the ice in any given game.
And Rorschach commented he's the last line of defense, and that's a pretty fucking important position to be in.
Yes.
I'll give you a specific example. The last Ponder tournament, my team, we started, and we brought it. Lynn McNew was in the other net. Phenomenal goalie. Yeah, good goal. Yeah, that's right. It was your team. Yeah. We poured it on. We must have had 10 shots before you guys even had a shot on goal. And then my goalie, I hope he's not listening, first 3 shots on him went in the net. And Lynn is back there making every save for you guys. And after that, I literally could feel my shoulders on the bench just droop down, my head down, like, okay, I think we're going to lose the first game of this tournament. It's, you feel it. You can't help it.
As a player, from experience, when you're out on the ice and when your goalie makes a tremendous save, like a eye-popping save, and keeps you in a game or keeps it tied or whatever the situation, the adrenaline you get as a skater is like, it just flows through you, and you want to do everything you can to make sure that puck doesn't go in and you get the puck out, or you take it down and you win the game, or tie it, or whatever you got to do. It's hard to explain. Maybe people who haven't played or don't understand how that works, but I guarantee you that
I
from
think
experience, that's how it works.
One of the best examples of that for the Blues, go back and watch the Boston game. Bennington makes that save on David Backes,
Oh,
and the Blues get the game to overtime and win it.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah. The team hockey's a huge the huge thing with hockey is that a team will rally around plays and situations that big plays, like when the forwards are pressuring, and it's sustained pressure, tons of chance, and that's the puck in the zone for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and they're peppering the goalie, and the defense is dead tired. And the offense just draws off of that, and they're not tired because they got the adrenaline, and that's how they keep pushing. It's just a hard thing to explain to maybe someone who hasn't played before, how that works, how the adrenaline works in situations like that. It's just I don't know how else to explain it.
I tell you, the most adrenaline that I get, the most amped I get in a game is when it's late and my goalie, like either it's 2-1 or we're trying to preserve a shutout. I tell you what, I am amped because I'm just like, guys, he's making all the big saves back there. We gotta keep the puck out of the crease. I mean, that's when I'm like in game mode. When there's 4 minutes left, we're up 1-0, and it's like, let's get this guy the shutout. He's worked his ass off, and I feel like even if it's a 6-5 game, it's like I don't have that adrenaline because it's just okay. Well, next goal's your next shot's probably gonna go in the net. When you've got a goalie standing on his head, I mean, there's nothing like it as a player. You just feel it all throughout your body. And when you're on the bench, you're thinking, I want to get the hell out there and make the right play so that way my goalie can preserve, the shutout or the 1-goal game or whatever he's doing that's standing on his head and getting your team the W.
Oh, it lifts the whole team up. And I'm sure it works the same way for goalies. I mean, if the defense is sliding, blocking shots, and doing everything they can to try and prevent, or if a defender, blocks a shot on an open side and saves a goal, that's got to lift the goalie and it's got to elevate his play.
The worst feeling ever as a goalie is after you've had teammates block shots and you give up a soft goal.
Jeff was talking about, he was playing goal, Koki, I guess it was.
Not me.
My cousin, not you. No, my cousin, Bill's friend, my cousin. His team was, I think the team had just tied it, and they came back and they tied it late, and they kicked ass, they tied it, and then 30 seconds left in the game, something like that, real late in the game, and off the face-off, or real soon off the face-off of center, other team got a breakaway.
Oh.
And he's like, oh my God, I have to stop this because my team just busted its ass to tie the game. I have to stop it. And he stopped it. Yeah. And it was, that's kind of a in a nutshell, kind of a good scenario, a good example of how that works.
That situation, it's happened to me a few times over my youth career. I'm challenging twice as hard.
Yeah. It's weird because people want to say, why don't you challenge the hard all the time? It doesn't work that way. The adrenaline's not there. It's
an emotional response.
How do you explain it to somebody? It's emotional response. Yeah. I mean, you dig in deep, or you find a level you didn't have before, a gear you didn't have before. That happens all the time in sports.
Yep.
That was a good talk.
That was.
I love this show, guys. Just saying, from Rorschach. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Also, a couple more comments on that. Bobrikowski, I imagine as a goalie, making saves and his team can't clear the puck out of the zone has to be maddening. Bill?
Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, you could ask Jake Allen that. I mean, how many times have you seen the left wing on the Blues unable to chip the puck out?
Early this season, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a problem for this team for years.
Sure.
I mean, Thomas, Alex Steed, and
Thomas.
Yeah.
Ask Hasek a number of years in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was hung out to dry.
Yeah.
Fuhrer in Edmonton, although that was a running gun system. I don't think they really cared.
He wasn't hung out to dry. He was just expected to stop one more than the other guy. But he was good. He was athletic.
Yeah. Fun to watch. Oh my God. That era.
God. Yeah.
I've been doing those games that I've been uploading on YouTube, and I luckily saved a commercial because when I was doing it on VHS, I'd cut out the commercials, but I saved the one. I don't know if you remember, it was a MasterCard commercial of Dominik Hasek, and it was one of those where it was like leg pads $800, catch glove $400, having a slinky for a spine priceless.
Yeah. Yep, that was good. That was Hasek, right?
Yeah, it's Hasek. Yep,
I remember that.
Yep, those were great commercials.
They were.
That was a good campaign.
So after the Carolina game, we played Dallas the very next night and lost that one 4-1. The second of back-to-backs. Bennington was back in net for this one. Bishop in net for the Stars, who played quite well. Ben, who is a Blues killer, and you said you were a Ben fan or are a Ben fan.
I like his game when he's not playing the Blues.
I can't stand that
love
guy.
the way he plays.
I would love him on my team. He's one of those perfect example of a guy who I would love to have on my team. I can't stand that fucker. Every time he burns the Blues, he's got to have some of the best numbers against the Blues out of all the players in the NHL.
For sure.
And he fucking hat trick the other night. First one was the redirection in front, beautiful redirection.
Yeah,
he was covered too. His stick wasn't tied up.
Yeah,
but it was a guy right on him.
It seems like he really does elevate his game when he plays division teams.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got great numbers against the Blackhawks too.
Number 2 was a 5-hole in Bennington, which a lot of people were complaining about this goal, and we talked about this goal.
I actually didn't like the first goal. You
didn't like the okay, so
it was a great deflection.
Yeah,
but it was one of the first times I thought that Bennington's positioning was just slightly off, and the positioning of his glove. I mean, they talked about it. I think Peng talks about it over the last 2 games. If you go back and watch even the condensed games, he talks a lot about how teams focus on the positioning of Bennington's glove and how deceptive it is.
Oh, yeah, because he holds it out.
Yeah.
Which they teach now.
Right. And
I hate that as a player.
Right.
Really,
it is deceptive. Yeah.
The Ben deflection goal, again, great deflection. You're not expecting it, but I thought he reacted to the initial shot and not, didn't take into account the traffic in front. Very difficult to figure out how that's going to go, but I would rather stay bigger. And it looked to me like he started getting smaller, bringing the glove back in, closing it.
So what you're saying is bench Bennington, play Allen.
You wouldn't call it you wouldn't call it a soft goal?
No,
okay.
No.
It's just
the second goal. Second goal it was soft for Bennington standards.
Okay.
He's made that save more often than not.
Okay.
His stick has been positionally sound.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah.
The second one. I agree with you. Second one, his stick was down and he picks it up. Yeah. And the puck goes under when he picks it up.
He hadn't done that.
And
this was his worst game.
Yeah. And
the 2 Dallas games that he's played have been his worst game.
Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
And the Kings game wasn't very good.
If we have to play them
playoffs,
that's not good for us.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, do you guys think it's something where Jamie Benn and players like that are getting in his head because they're driving his crease a lot in these games?
Well, let's see what happens tomorrow night in Anaheim, because
that's the way they play
the Ducks
too.
are going to be straight down his throat.
Yeah, if he plays, he'll play, right?
I would hope. Ducks or Kings. I think you play him.
I think you play him against the Ducks.
I think you play him in both games. I like this idea. Test him.
I think you know what? I think if it's an easier workload against Anaheim, I think to play him against LA. I think there's like
I just want
20
to point out
shots
that I've converted Bill.
Yeah,
so I just want
he has.
I'm not. Maybe if we, it depends how we play. It depends how he plays. I think you wait and see. I think if he plays well, it's fine, good to go. He's had a few days off. I'm fine with playing back-to-back games if he plays well against Anaheim and we win. If he loses, if he doesn't play great and we lose, then what do you do?
If he doesn't, then go with Allen. But don't go into tomorrow's
with the the
predetermination, right?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would never do that actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
or you make it known. He wins, he plays again.
Yeah, they need to win tomorrow. I mean, they don't need to, but they should.
They need
win.
to stem they can't let this go 4 games.
No, they should win tomorrow night. If they don't win tomorrow night, it's kind of like,
well, we historically shit the bed in Anaheim at least once a year, and we won there earlier.
If they lose tomorrow, I'm cursing out Doug from the show last week.
Cursing the team.
Damn it, Doug.
Overconfident.
And the third goal by Ben was a
Empty
El
net
Cheapo
goal.
empty net goal.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
Rorschach agrees with you, Bill. He says he overcommitted on that.
I'm not going to be hard on Bennington for that goal. I'm going to give Ben credit on that one. As much as it pains me, it's a nice goal.
So what you're saying is obligatory Jimmy and Ben joke here. You're not going to be hard on Bennington, and you're not going to go down on Ben. Get down on Ben.
Yeah.
He will.
That sounds like a bad Dallas rap song.
Yeah.
Get down on Ben.
Fail. Bad joke.
Yeah, and the third goal, empty net goal. Pietrangelo scored for the Blues to cut the lead to 2-1. Nice goal, great pass from Sundqvist across the ice to Pietrangelo, who beats Bishop top shelf glove side. But Blues were outplayed by Dallas, and the 7-game home winning streak was snapped. Blues are 2-3-1 and have scored 9 goals in the past 6 games, while playing without top 6 forwards Perron and Schenn. So, and social media kind of turned on the Blues after this loss because they've lost a couple in a row, and they've 2-3-1 last 6. So after the 11-game win streak, they've kind of been 500 or so for the past 6.
I'm fine.
Oh, I'm too. I think.
Calm down, Curt.
No, I'm just saying the social media. It's like people. Oh my gosh, we're back to we suck again.
We suck again.
We suck again. And I'm like, you know what? Give it some time. You could. I'm not trying to make excuses, but Carolina again. We talked about a great team. Dallas played well, and they've been playing well. Dallas has. So I think we'll see about playing down to the competition here against Anaheim and LA. To be honest,
yeah,
that'll be a good. Do we play down to the competition?
You know what would be a good primer for the LA game is if your internet worked and we could get the game back on.
What the hell? It was up there.
Jeez, Jesus Christ! Why did I?
I've been so entrenched in this conversation.
You see how the internet is on this side of the river.
Yeah, I don't know why I come over here.
It's not the internet.
Kirkwood's so much better.
It's not the internet. It's the it's my Chromecast.
Our inner tubes are clogged.
So just a little side conversation, which we seem to specialize at. Oscar Sundqvist. You mentioned the pass he made.
Mm-hmm.
He's been probably outside of Bennington, maybe the Blues' biggest surprise this year.
He's the most improved player in the NHL.
Oh, it looks fantastic, and I love him, and I want him to. I want to
You want
adopt
his
him.
babies?
And I want to adopt him and raise him as my own. But free agent end of the year, restricted free agent. What do you do there? What do you think you're going to see out of him?
I don't think anybody's going to offer sheet him.
No, but I'm saying, what kind of deal do you expect? I mean, he's going to be re-signed.
Real quick. Rorschach said the second one was the turnover. He's thinking I was talking about Dallas's goals. I was just talking about Ben's goals, first, second, third of Ben's goals, his hat trick. I was talking about his 3 goals, not Dallas's goals overall. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Getting back to
so he's 24.
Yeah.
Which means he's arbitration eligible, I believe, right?
Yeah, I don't see him. He'll get paid, but not that much. 2 million, maybe.
Do you think he'll get that?
Maybe.
Because this is the first time we've really seen anything out of Oscar Sundqvist,
right,
including his time in Pittsburgh. So do you think he gets $1 million, $2 million?
He'll get $1 million, $1.5 million.
Sidney Crosby said he was going to be a good player. Did you hear that?
No.
He also said the Blues are going to win the Cup this year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
The Crosby said that when the Penguins got rid of Sundqvist, he said that was a bad decision because he's going to be a good player. Just saying.
And Wayne Gretzky was one of the worst coaches in NHL history.
Yeah.
But Sundqvist has turned out to be a good player.
Oh, I love him. So. I love him on the fourth line. I hope he plays this way for the next 15 years.
This season has been a very good role player.
No,
very good.
I don't think anybody's complaining about the loss of Kyle Brodziak,
No.
which I expected to hear a lot of.
I did too, actually, because I was actually a fan of Brodziak.
I
I liked his game.
I was too, and I thought he was one of the most solid, dependable guys. And
Actually, forgot about him completely.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
because we
exactly.
Out of
Blues
sight, out
haven't
of
needed him. I mean, outside of Sundqvist, you got Barbashev too, who's played really well on the fourth line.
Yeah,
Winnington's Mask says, "Thank you, Tom Wilson, for knocking the hockey into Sonny D."
yeah,
yeah.
Boy, if he played defense, Sonny D, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next up for the Blues, Anaheim on Wednesday. We talked about they snapped a 5-game losing streak by beating Colorado 2-1 on Sunday. And our action tonight in Arizona, and the scores tonight. Let's see, Ducks. They are beating Arizona. They beat Arizona 3-1.
Jordan Wheel.
So,
Kotki Niemi. Now there's another great hockey name.
I will tell you, I love the kid. He is this generation's Saku Koivu. Hopefully he doesn't deal with the
I was gonna say
with the health shit that Saku had to deal with. Saku Koivu is one of my all-time favorite players, and Kotkaniemi could easily be him. And I'm a huge fan.
Or as Don Cherry calls him, Packer Yammy.
Oh,
they'll be playing in the second half of back-to-backs. So they play tonight. They play tomorrow. We have 3 days off.
mm-hmm.
So it's set up. I mean, we're a better team. We have more to play for. They're in the second half of back-to-backs. We've had 3 days off. This is set up on a tee for the Blues to knock out of the park.
Right. 3-0 Anaheim.
Oh my God. The goal scoring has been a problem. Hopefully Schenn's supposed to come back. They said likely to play tomorrow, so we'll see. I guess probably they'll let us know in the pregame skate, but or the morning skate probably.
Yeah. They've been teasing it all day. Korak has.
Yep, likely to play. You know, he's playing on the top line in practice, so hopefully that happens, and hopefully he's ready to go and can contribute. So they beat Colorado. How much do you guys want to see Colorado miss the playoffs after they eliminated the Blues last season?
Oh,
I mean,
so
you
bad.
you have animosity there?
A little bit. I mean,
No, but
not as much as Chicago. I mean, I know Chicago. They haven't really been much of a rival the last 2 seasons, but seeing them out of the playoffs again, I would love that. But Colorado, yeah, it'd be nice too. I would love that.
yeah, so Anaheim is up 3-1 currently on Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, it's over.
Sorry. It's
over.
over. Is it? Yeah. Ah, so they won.
Yeah, just
Nice.
I need to send that to you.
Please do. And Colorado won.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, do we get Ryan Miller tomorrow night? Who's going to play goal? For,
Man, I really don't want to acquire him again.
uh,
Oh, never mind.
that's one thing you don't have to worry about.
Schenn has been wearing the tinted visor in practice, and so is Perron. So that's
concussion.
I
So
mean,
the question was asked from Winnington's Mask: if Schenn is 80% healthy, do you play him with a concussion? I say no.
no, with a
No.
concussion, no. And that's what he has. Assuming if he's been cleared to play, he's been symptom free for a while. So, I like any player who's going to dress, I expect him to be healthy enough to contribute. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. If it was up to me, like you said, 80% concussion, no.
I think most injuries at this time of the year, I mean, unless you're really battling for a playoff spot, don't worry about playing them yet. I mean, let these guys heal if you can. I mean, I remember years ago when every year Barrett Jackman would come out at the end of the year. Well, he struggled at the end of the year because he wasn't 100%, but we were playing him anyway. Well, if you can't play to the full capacity, why the hell are you playing him?
That's like Bowmeister.
Yeah,
he was not healthy, and they were playing him, and his play suffered. And
exactly,
Right.
it's like
Good God.
you could get a guy from the AHL to play better than a 70% Jay Bowmeister or Barrett Jackman.
I mean, if you sat Bowmeister for an extra month, I mean, does that make a difference? And
Yeah.
I mean, because really he was a liability on the ice when he was out
terrible.
there.
Yeah.
Sit him. You're a better team if you sit him. And then he gets healthy, and then you're better even.
It's not even,
Except
that's not
the
even the
Blues
case.
were the Blues under Mike Yeo were not going to bring up Mitch Reinke or
Who's
Jake
playing
Wallman.
very
Right.
well, by
They're-
the way.
They brought up Chris fucking Butler.
Yeah. I'm
Again-
excited for Mitch Reinke. I think he's on the team next year.
Oh yeah,
He's looking good.
he's lighting it up.
Was it JR or Korak? Somebody mentioned the possibility of working Del Zotto into the lineup soon.
Tomorrow night would be the night to do it against a team that just gave up on you.
Yeah, maybe that's an incentive, but I don't know why you'd try to get him in the lineup. I would say you plug him in if you need to. I wouldn't try to work him in.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so it depends who comes out. I mean, I think if you're gonna set Bortz a game, tomorrow night's probably not the game to do it because Anaheim's a big, heavy club,
Yeah, I would not play him tomorrow.
and you're not gonna take Dunn out of the lineup for him. And maybe that's what they do, but I think it's stupid.
No, I like Dunn playing I don't like sitting Dunn. I don't.
The only way I think you sit those kind of guys is if it's late in the year, you're cemented in the number 2 or number 3 spot.
You're resting guys.
Give Del Zotto a couple games here and there.
Sure. Yeah.
Or if somebody like let's say Dunn hurts his foot, I can still play on it. I'm 90%. Why don't you go ahead and sit? We got this Del Zotto guy. Go ahead and
Yeah,
that's what we acquired him for.
or a flu bug goes back through the team, get him a game.
Yeah.
Winnington's Mass said, so not like Jabo and Tarasenko earlier in the year, not healthy enough to contribute. Which is what I just said with Jabo, and assuming Tarasenko was still having lingering issues with his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
So, which is the rumor. In the 6 games that Braden Schenn missed with injury, the Blues scored 10 goals. In the 6 games prior to his injury, with the top line being Schenn, O'Reilly, and Tarasenko, the Blues scored 27 goals. So, yeah, he's kind
That's
of
a
important.
noticeable difference.
It's a noticeable change.
I mean, fuck, Jaden Schwartz, Pat Maroon, neither one of them look good on that top line.
No, and it's so disappointing to see Schwartz not clicking on the first line. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
He's up
utter
there with
disappointment.
He's up there. He's probably a bigger disappointment than Maroon, I guess, because
I think he is.
the expectations for him were so much higher.
Well, I mean, he's been healthy now for a while. Like you would think, okay, this guy's going to be, I don't want to say a point per game, but point every 2 games at least. He hasn't been that at all.
No.
And he hasn't, he hasn't been that noticeable on the ice. I mean, I know there's been a couple times like board battles. Okay, Jaden's playing pretty good there. Keep it up, Jaden. But, in terms of offensive plays and getting stymied by the goalie, I haven't seen that too much from him.
No, he's a big shoot wide guy.
Big shoot wide guy, and he often comes down with a case of the Oshis where he just can't stay on his feet for an entire shift.
Yeah, but Oshie would score.
True.
He'd score from his butt. Standings are tightening up. Heading into Tuesday night's games, the Blues are, this is not including tonight's game. So the 3 points ahead of 2 wildcard teams, Dallas and Minnesota. But Minnesota went into OT tonight and lost. So they're only 2 points ahead of Minnesota now. Is that right? Yeah, I guess. And 5 points ahead of 9th place Arizona, who lost in regulation, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So that was good that Arizona lost.
Yeah.
That and who they played? They played the Ducks.
The Ducks.
So the Ducks did us a favor.
Yeah. Do us a favor tomorrow night, please.
Right, exactly. And
Shit the bed.
7 points by Nashville, but Nashville won in overtime tonight. So 9 points by Nashville now with 3 games in hand. Man, they scooted back up ahead of us.
Shouldn't they have 4 games in hand now?
Oh, 4 games, right. You're right.
Yeah.
4 games. 4 games in hand. 4 games in hand. Golly.
Yeah, I know.
Nashville's going to get some time off here in the last month.
I mean, it's crazy too with how much the Blues have played lately.
I know.
But they still have games in hand.
Well, they've given hand in Nashville, nobody else.
yeah.
Maybe one on other teams.
Yeah.
That's about it. But Nashville's going to get some time off. They're going to get some rest. But that also means that teams are going to maybe pass them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're top of the division right now because Winnipeg lost tonight.
Yeah, but what games played for both those guys?
It's 2 games in hand on Winnipeg, right? Is that? 3 games in hand
We need a stats guy.
on Winnipeg.
We
Yeah.
need to get a stats guy off camera, sitting
Just
like over there.
feeding us stats.
Yeah, and just, the guys that's 2 points behind.
Just
yeah, okay.
hold up a piece of paper with
Yeah,
it.
we have
right.
Nashville. We have 4 games in hand on Nashville, and
Which-
Winnipeg has 3.
That's too many games in hand because
It
you can't
is.
say that's 8 points because winning 4 games is a tough task.
Right.
God, this
And if we won all those games in hand, we wouldn't catch them.
no, well, no, we wouldn't. But assuming, but by the time we made those games up, who knows what their record is, and they've
They're well.
we're not
they're-
making those games up in a matter of 4 days.
Right.
It's going to be over the
And-
course of a month.
right over the course of the rest of the
Right.
season.
Man, I gotta say, I don't share the optimism that Doug had last week that the Blues are going to take first in the division.
I'd be interested to know if Doug still has that same.
I mean,
optimism.
it has nothing to do with
It's-
the weekend games. I didn't think that last week either. I just hope that Winnipeg gets back into that number 1 seed. I'd rather play Nashville.
Oh, I would
I
too.
don't think the Blues match up well with Winnipeg.
I'd rather play Nashville for the fact that I think we can beat them, and I think it'll be an amazing series.
Oh, it'd be a hell of a series
Yeah.
to watch. I think that's a 7-game series, no matter what.
That might be the best series in the first round.
It's damn good last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Nashville, Winnipeg was awesome.
Oh God,
Oh,
that
right.
was a fun series. Just watching them beat the shit out of each other. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I think we'll open this up real quick for listeners.
Yeah, come
to
join us, everybody. Actually, since we're all in studio this week, I'm going to give you Curt's home address, and you can just show up.
Share a mic.
Yeah, and we'll share a mic. You can sit on my lap while you do it. It'll be fun.
I was gonna sit on your lap.
So 91 Reasons You Lose, which I think that's is that not Zed? I could be wrong. He says, I'm thinking Ed Winnington's mask is the former Jake Allen's mask. I think he's probably correct. That's a good bet. Let's see. Winnington's mask called him Chris. I interview well Butler. Yeah, that's pretty much his best attribute. I think.
I tweeted out the link to join us. So the Twitter account at LGB Radio. Go ahead and go there and click on the link to join us live virtually in studio.
Yeah.
Remotely in studio.
Sure. What I normally do.
Right.
And then Bob Rakowski, I think talking about Tarasenko. I wonder if it has anything to do with Tarasenko playing with 2 centers is the magic formula, meaning if Schenn can't play next game, put Thomas on the top line? Question
Yep.
mark. I'd be cool with that.
They
I'd love
did
to
it.
see
They did
Thomas
it
on
for
Thomas.
1 period.
I'd love to see it for a full game.
Yep.
Thomas is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the best passer on this team already. I mean, nothing against O'Reilly and the points he's put up, but the vision that Thomas has and the ability to pull off tight lane passes is unsurpassed. On this team.
he's up there, and I think he's with him being getting a lot of playing time at his age is only going to benefit him, I would think, and playing well
right.
at his age.
Right. I am.
Was he 12 years old?
13.
13. Man, right? Because he
He's
was at the
showing
juniors.
signs
I
of
think.
right. Showing signs of puberty.
It's either NHL or Pee Wee.
Right. Right. I just, I've been impressed with him, and I've been impressed by the Blues as an organization actually allowing a teenager to play and not, okay, you got a couple games in, here's 12 games in the press box.
With as deep as this team was,
Right.
to actually let him play.
Right.
Well, they didn't have a lot of options. They sending him back to juniors was going to be
Right.
pointless. So,
Right. There was nothing left for him in
Right.
the O.
which worked in our favor. I mean, he's been good. I think he's been good. I think he's. I've seen enough of him to be confident that he is going to be a good NHL player.
Winnington's mask says he'll come be our stats guy. We just have to pay him in stouts.
Okay.
We can
Well,
handle that.
we're stout people.
Yeah, we are. Let's see. And somebody says 91 Reasons You Lose says as long as it isn't Schwartz or Maroon in the top line. I think we can agree with that.
Yeah, Maroon should be on the third at best.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Fourth, no more.
91 Reasons also says we're only 1 point ahead of Dallas now.
2.
2.
Or-
I think it's 2, isn't it?
Dallas
Maybe it
is
is one.
It's 2. I'm pretty sure. Well, let's check. Pretty sure it was
Excuse me.
2 because it was 3, right? And then
We are 1 point ahead of Dallas.
Oh, we are 1 point ahead. That's right.
with a game in hand.
Yeah.
Which I think.
God, I hate Dallas.
And
I hate Dallas so much.
We're done with them, right? The rest of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they won the series 3-1.
I hate them so much.
Yep.
How is it that we beat them when we suck, but then they come out and play well against?
We
us
also
the last
lost
three
them when
games?
we sucked, and they
That's
sucked
true.
too.
They were terrible. Yeah.
That game was a horrible hockey game to watch.
But the last time we played them in the playoffs was the run.
Yeah.
That was
when we went to the conference
that went
final.
7 games, right?
Mhm.
That
We
should
were up
not
3-2.
have gone.
We were up
7
3-2.
games. I remember just thinking when they lost that game 6, what the hell?
Well,
guys?
we were up 3-2, and then a lot of people thought that was why we ran out of gas too. We just
Right.
had 2 7-game series against Chicago and Dallas.
Yeah.
both of those should have been over in 5 or
Yeah,
6.
right. The Blues
Right.
couldn't close it out.
And that was the knock on the Blues, is that they didn't know how to close series out and get that extra rest. And that's what teams
They could have had a couple
that's
days
what
extra rest.
successful playoff teams do. At this point, we just want the playoffs again. You know?
Yeah. God,
Well-
if they miss them.
We'll get there.
Ooh.
I'm not going to go through those 2 years in a row. Then hope 98% making the playoffs bullshit that we had last year and this year, and then miss it both years.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
We're making the fucking playoffs this year. I want to see some playoff hockey.
Or
For the
Kurt's
Blues.
burning down the Enterprise Center.
Good Lord. We've had a couple mid-show name changes. Jeez, guys. Winnington's mask. He admits he was Jake Allen's mask mid-show. And then 91 Reasons You Lose says he is Rorschach. He changed his name to his Twitter handle mid-show. Guys, stop changing names. You're driving us crazy here.
I'm going by the logos. I can the avatars. I can.
Maybe I'm just dumb and I can't look at logos. I can only read
I'm a
letters.
visual person.
Okay.
I don't know. At some point,
I look at
guess
myself a lot.
I should do the YouTube thing too, but I don't.
Bill doesn't really pay attention to anything on the show.
No.
He just comes here to watch hockey.
You know, I do.
tonight I've just been staring in your eyes all night.
Do you know what I do?
Hell,
Well, are you
there.
do you have are you playing the video or are you pausing it?
I have it paused.
Okay, me too. I don't want to use up bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be better for the show. Yeah.
Yep.
Should have asked that question before. I'm like, make sure.
No, I do that at home too.
We got
Always
like
have it paused.
4 videos streaming here.
I basically get a close up of your face and I keep it paused so I can just stare at it.
91 Reasons You Lose. That's why they need to quit scratching Fabs and let him play a stretch of games so he's ready.
That's
Yeah.
from an earlier conversation.
Oh, okay. Can't be worse than Sanford.
They
Mariner,
were
Schwartz.
talking about
Yeah.
how it was involving the 2 centers playing with Tarasenko.
Right.
I think 91 Reasons said Fabs was drafted as a center. Whittington said he shouldn't be. He should be a healthy scratch. 90 Reasons says they should play him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has
I wouldn't play him
much
against.
who Fabry.
I wouldn't play him against Anaheim. Well, Sanford's a bigger body. I mean, if you're going for bigger bodies,
Yeah.
I still like Sanford. I've seen a lot of people diss
hit
on
on
him.
well, because he's not
I-
producing as much as he used to.
But
Well,
I think he's still playing well.
I think he's been playing okay.
You put him with the same. I think he's the kind of guy that's going to benefit from continuity of line mates.
Yeah,
You don't shift him around,
he's been shifting a lot.
right? You know,
I have noticed he's been making a lot of mistakes. I look at him like, God damn it.
that high and wide shot in the game, the Dallas game on Saturday, just like he there was no reason for him to one time that puck. He was so far deep. Like, and usually I'm the guy that's yelling shoot. You know that
You're the guy.
That's
Right.
you.
but in that case, there was no reason. Like it just seemed like an odd time to go for a one timer and shot 5 feet high and 5 feet wide. Just settle down.
We have not had anybody join us yet.
Join us, folks.
I mean, if
We
you
got
want
we got a bunch of people there in the chat.
If you want to join us, join us. If not, we're gonna sign off here in a minute.
Yeah, I have to go clean up dog shit.
Man,
Is that a euphemism?
No, it is. It is.
it's an analogy.
It is a literalism. Here's the text. He pooped 2 more times, and when I was cleaning up, the other dog hiked his leg and pissed. So this is what I get to go home to. Puppies.
Jeez, what a life.
Yeah.
You know that audio clip I was looking for last week that I couldn't find?
Mm-hmm.
Over to Klingberg on the rush. Klingberg shot, glove, handle, whoopsie, barely. And the whistle goes as goaltender Jake Allen made a mess of that wrister.
That's Daryl Ray, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I love Daryl Ray.
Yeah, he's good. He's always got a thesaurus by his side every game. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I love it.
He's not afraid to use the big words.
No.
That's funny. He's not afraid to use big words.
No, he's great. I mean, that's even Peng and Peng made a joke to Kelly, that you got to bust out big words, big fella.
Yeah. Nah, Daryl Ray, man, he's unbelievable. When the man that just passed away,
Dave Strader,
was great. But when he was going through his chemo, he switched from color commentator to play-by-play.
And was
that is
brilliant.
Yeah,
right?
that's hard to do.
Hard as fuck to do.
I've never
did it seamlessly.
I didn't. I mean, I always figured it was really hard to do. But when I was up in the press box with Kerber, watching him call a game in person. I'm watching the game and watching him call it and listening to him. It was just impressive. It was it doesn't seem. I mean, maybe it seems impressive on the radio to hear the game or on TV. On TV, you don't have to call it like you do on the radio. Radio can be more specific and more descriptive. But watching him call that game, it was a Blues Blackhawks game, was just like, wow, that looks difficult, and he's doing a great job.
It's unbelievable.
That was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going back to when I was a kid playing the games on the Genesis and calling the play-by-play.
Yep.
As it went along, that was one of my dream jobs. I wanted to be Dan Kelly.
Oh yeah,
and just keeping up with a video game was tough to do. Tried to do it live.
Yeah, I used to turn down the TV on my whenever the Blues were playing, and I would call the game. My dad every now and then would mute it and say, "All right, Jeff, take over play-by-play." And oh god, it was so. I mean, so hard. I don't know how those guys do it. And we talked to Cristiano about it. He's he's a guy that does some hockey broadcasting. It is so difficult. And even baseball. Like I know I have a friend who's done minor league baseball, and he said the biggest problem with it, because he's done basketball too. He's like, basketball's nonstop. You're up and down the court, you're calling pass, shot, pass, shot. Baseball, there's so much in between time that they have to have
90% vamping.
Exactly. They have to have so many notes. And when you're a minor league guy, like you don't get the analytics that the MLB does. So like you really got to come up with stuff that you can talk about between pitches, I mean, it's crazy to think about how hard these jobs can be.
Sweet sassy molassie.
91 Reasons adds, Sanford just doesn't look like he's putting in the effort recently. Too much coasting, not enough battling.
I just think he's and the battling thing might be a reason to why I've turning the puck over center, not making the crisp plays. He just seems to not have that drive that he had. Not that he's playing awful, but he's not at the level he was.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
Well, shit. I think that's a lot of the team, though, especially after playing so many fucking games in a short period of time. I really felt like the last couple of games it's been like a decompression period. Like,
would you put Fabry in for Sanford?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
One of these games you have to, and
I wouldn't be against that. I mean, I think I'd rather do it against LA.
I'd be fine with it too.
You play Sanford against Anaheim and Fabry against LA.
I'd rather put him in for Maroon every fucking night.
Oh yeah, that's
just me.
Yeah, I mean, or put Sanford on the fourth line and just dish Maroon.
I was actually thinking that you throw Sanford on that fourth line. I think
and
he would look
sit
good
Maroon and then put Fabry on the third line.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're gonna shut her down.
What choice do we have, Earl?
None. That should be our closing bit.
That
the
should be.
Brian Regan monster truck pull. The flap cars are burning and smoking. And that didn't work out, so shut her down. I guess that will do it for this week's show. Next week, what's the schedule like next week? Schedule. We got
I've closed my.
Wednesday is open night, so maybe a show Wednesday.
It usually works pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's cool with me.
Blues play.
I think a couple people that I've been speaking with, radio guys, are wanting to come on.
Oh, cool.
Crunch time.
Radio?
Crunch time
Sure.
with Joe Hamilton and somebody else.
So they want to come on the important time of the season, the down the stretch.
Yes, of course. Of course.
And down the stretch they come.
When do they play next week?
They play Arizona on
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and they play Thursday in Ottawa, and then Saturday at Pittsburgh, and then Sunday in Buffalo. Another back-to-back night.
I don't know why that bothers me, but it
Can't
does.
get away from it. Pittsburgh and Buffalo are the last back-to-backs in March, and that's last of the season. Nothing in April. Thank Christ.
Why
Those
do
are
we
done.
have to get Pittsburgh on a back-to-back?
It's the front end. Buffalo is the second game.
Oh, that's not bad.
Buffalo
what-
sucks right
Let's
now.
see what Starter Hutton has in store for
I-
us.
I'm giddy. I like Hutton, but I'm giddy about Buffalo dropping like a rock
Yeah,
because
and
of all the talk
all
when the Blues
shit talk
were
about O'Reilly.
last overall and shit talking O'Reilly with Sabres fans, how they were first overall for a day
Yeah.
in the East, I think it was, or first in their division one, and they just dropped.
Yeah, I think they were.
Oof.
Not
Was
in
it?
the East. I don't think it was in the East because I think
Okay.
Tampa was still ahead. Of them.
Yeah. So, but they dropped, and then the Blues took off, and like they just crossed each other in the standings, and now it's the other way around, and you don't hear anything, obviously, from Buffalo fans. I'm just kind of giddy about it.
Crickets.
They're going to miss the playoffs again this year.
That's pretty nice. So 91 Reasons ask, what is vamping? I've heard that term several times now over the past week.
filling dead air.
Yeah. So when one of us is looking something up and we're in like mid conversation, oh boy, wait a minute, we got to fill some time here. Vamp.
Talk
That
amongst
means-
yourselves.
Yeah, it means come up with something to talk about. You've probably the one that I always think of is David Letterman. His vamp was always he would just start making noises. So if you ever watched Letterman, that was him vamping. And then Winnington's Mask. I'll be bringing my own laptop for the analytics. See you next week, boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bring it on, Winnington.
Do you get a good cup of coffee?
You should just join the show, just like remotely, and just like sit there with the text open, the chat open.
Yeah, there you go.
And just send us stats in the chat.
It would be best if we had a guy who like wasn't even listening to the show, just sending us random stats.
Yeah. This just in. 14 people got sick yesterday. E. coli in Southern California. What are the kind of stats you want? Now there's a romaine lettuce recall.
91 Reasons says he's looking forward to it. I'd like to come on the show, guys, but I don't know how. I'm old.
Oh.
Kurt's old.
I always expect everyone's young like us. I'm not old. I'm older.
Kurt's only
You're the
68.
oldest.
I'm the oldest. I am not. Well, really, all you got to do is
Download an app and get a microphone and earbuds.
you're not old. You were on the show last week.
No, that's not him.
Oh, it's not him. Oh, that's right.
No.
That's right. So, yeah, if with
it's pretty easy.
I mean, if you're on Twitter, you can get the link from Twitter. Follow the account. We post the link to actually join the show. You click on it and you're there. There's not much to it.
You might have to download a
a plugin,
plugin for Google Hangout.
maybe, maybe, but it's maybe. I haven't done it in a long time, but
And the pro tip, so that we're not getting the feedback.
Headphones.
Is headphones.
Yes.
Wear headphones, because then we won't hear ourselves talking to speakers on like a second and a half delay or whatever. It's annoying.
You cannot keep up with yourself.
No, you can't think. You're listening to yourself, and it's So just put some headphones on.
Especially when you hate the sound of your own voice.
Yeah, click the link, and if it asks you to download a plugin, download it, and then just run it and play. And it's pretty easy, I think.
Yeah. What about that? This game is in Boston.
Oh, yeah. That was a sweet goal there to win
it. But
by Krejci.
Carolina wearing
They had the
Whalers jerseys
Carolina's wearing the
in
Whalers.
New England.
Columbus. I didn't see the outcome of this game. Who won this game? Columbus and New
Perron
Jersey?
wins it.
Oh, sneaky.
Did they play Bobrovsky or did they play Kincaid? Probably
Good question.
Bobrovsky.
Fail.
Oh,
Great save by Grace.
it almost went in. No,
Yeah.
it didn't. There it goes.
Barzal
So
wins it.
Columbus is now in the playoffs.
All right.
They are
Until
hold-
Montreal wins.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the score of that game?
2-0.
2-0? Yeah. So Montreal would then have 79 points and then jump 2 points ahead of Columbus. But I guess Columbus has a tiebreak right now, currently. I'm telling you, I'm rooting against Columbus.
That's
wanna see
'cause
the world
That's
burn.
the kind of dick you are.
I want to see the world burn, and partially because Panarin. Oh, you want to come to St. Louis? Okay, fuck you and your team. I missed the playoffs. That'll do it for this week's show.
I think we stretch it out as long as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For welcome again to the studio,
Of course.
my office this evening.
If you listeners would like to pay my gas for me to come every week, I would be glad to do that.
This was a joy.
It was.
For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Curt Price. That will conclude this week's broadcast of Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Oh, fuck. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues and Blue Jackets.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at fourth.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win.